The Unacceptable Love Between a Muslim Girl and a Christian Boy. A novel by Dr. A. Ahmed. This is an intriguing epic story which resonates with love, resilience, courage, and sacrifice. Copyrights. All rights are reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means without the prior written permission of the author, except by a reviewer, who may quote brief paragraphs for a review to be printed in a public newspaper, general magazine, school journal, or university article. This story is a work of fiction, but the entire novel is based on a real love affair between a Muslim girl and a Christian boy. All names, characters, places, and events are either the product of the author's imagination or used literary. Therefore, any resemblance to actual people, living or dead, events or locales is merely coincidental.
Chapter 7. The Runaway Groom of the Bride Isra. While the groom Munir is still enjoying his honeymoon with his lovely new bride Shahines, his father Mr. Abdul Basit, and the father of his Muslim fiancée, Maulana Sheikh Al-Qadir had already conducted in the biggest mosque his second Islamic marriage without his presence, consent, and knowledge. The newly wedded couple Munir and Shahines flew to Alexandria city for enjoying their honeymoon. They are staying in the most expensive hotel in the second biggest city in Egypt. Meanwhile, the Abdul Basit family and the Al-Qadir family have not left a single family in the city of Wadi Madani that they have not invited for the happy wedding of the educated son Munir and the righteous daughter Isra. The two noble families spent a lot of money on preparing for the soon-coming great wedding of their precious children. Everyone received the invitation card, blessed the couple and their families, and marked his calendar, and waited eagerly for the grand celebration of the year. Many people have heard about the extreme beauty of the daughter of Maulana Sheikh Al-Qadir, but none of them has seen her yet. Therefore, the wedding for them will be a good opportunity to have a glimpse of that gorgeous beauty of the Holy Virgin of Paradise. The bride of the season, Isra Al-Qadir, is counted by her neighbors and those who saw her as the most beautiful girl in the province of Al Jazeera. She is praised for her beauty as well as her overall feminine attractiveness, such as height, with legs that are proportionate in length to her height, a waist-to-hip ratio and bust size, big boobs, large backside, wearing red, less makeup, smiles and whiter teeth, and shiny, full and blonde hair. In addition to those attractive feminine qualities, in that society physical beauty is not enough to qualify the girl to win the approval and praise of everyone. Other important feminine qualities must be part of the behavior of that girl. She is required to be shy, lazy, spoiled by her mom, walk slowly just like a passing cloud. When she speaks, her voice must be like that of a 5-year-old girl, and very childish in her talk and behavior. Moreover, her skin color must be as yellow as mango, her neck like a bottle of ghee, her hair like the tail of a horse, her body as delicate as pineapple, and her breasts like pomegranates. When she walks in the street, people say the full bright moon has come down in a human form. Isra met all those beautiful requirements and excelled in them, and exceedingly oversurpassed them all. No other girl has come close to her in that excellent feminine attractiveness. In nutshell, she is beautiful beyond description, and too marvelous for human words to describe her stunning beauty. If her deeply religious parents allow her to show her sexy body and compete in Miss World, she will be crowned the Queen of Beauty for the whole 21st century. The Holy Family of the extremely beautiful bride spent all their savings to make their only daughter the bride of the season. The business tycoon Mr. Abdul Basit booked the biggest hall in the most expensive hotel in the city for the wedding of his son. He loves Munir more than all his other children. He loves him more because Munir is the only son who went to university and studied medicine. His other sons are interested in business and making money. Moreover, Munir is the son of his third and most beautiful wife. Mr. Abdul Basit is the one who came up with the idea of marrying his son to the daughter of the Imam of the mosque. He saw Isra one day when she came along with her mother to visit his third wife. For him, she appeared as if she was an angelic being or a virgin of paradise. Everything he believed the man would love on the young woman, the lovely damsel Isra possessed and surpassed all other girls he saw in his life. Even in his many business trips to the Middle East and the European countries, he did not see a young damsel as beautiful as the daughter of the Imam of the Grand Mosque. Accordingly, on the same day, Mr. Abdul Basit had decided to send the betrothal of his son through his wife to the Holy Family of Sheikh Al-Qadir. Mrs. Abdul Basit picked up the phone as soon as her dignified guests had reached their holy abode and asked for the hand of Isra in marriage to her educated son Munir, who is going to graduate in less than a year and become a physician. The mother of the sweetest girl in the city at the spot had accepted the proposal and promised to inform her blessed husband. The virtuous Imam of the Grand Mosque, Maulana Sheikh Al-Qadir, as soon as his wife informed him about the good news, gave his approval and thanked his exalted Allah and his holy Prophet Muhammad for bringing such a good fiancé to his beloved daughter. Everything happened so quickly, and Munir and Isra had been betrothed with each other without asking their consent. After their parents arranged their marriage, they had been notified that shortly they were going to get married to each other. However, 3 days before the happy marriage is supposedly scheduled to take place, the wealthy business tycoon Mr. Abdul Basit tried to get hold of his educated son and ask him to rush and come as soon as possible for his great wedding. The happy father called several times on the phone of his beloved son in the capital city, but he always heard, "Munir Abdul Basit is not at home. Please leave your phone number and a brief message, and I will get back to you as soon as possible." Mr. Abdul Basit kept on phoning and leaving messages until the voicemail of his son was full. That night the worried father could not be able to sleep and desperately kept on trying to reach his son, but everything he has done is to no avail. On the following day, he sent one of his secretaries to the capital city to find out where his son had gone. The personal assistant flew up and down on the same day. When he returned to Wadi Madani city, the special emissary informed his boss that for many days his son has not been seen by his neighbors, and his apartment is securely locked up by a big padlock. The news of the mysterious disappearance of the to-be groom has exceedingly troubled the heart of his father and made him weep so much. Only 1 day is left before the great wedding to take place, and still, the groom is missing. Then Mr. Abdul Basit immediately flew in his private jet from Wadi Madani to Khartoum, and headed directly to the medical college where his son is studying medicine. The college administration office informed him that his son is away on his 2-month summer vacation. Then the frightened father went to the police and obtained permission to break the lock of his son's apartment. He is scared that his son might have been murdered by someone, and his decomposed body is lying dead inside his apartment. When the police broke the lock and searched the apartment, they found nothing to confirm the fears of the frightened father. After that, Mr. Abdul Basit took the case of his disappearing son to the highest authority in the Khartoum Police Department and demanded an immediate answer. He informed the police commissioner that his son was getting married the following day and requested him to find his whereabouts on that very same day. It did not take the police commissioner more than a few hours to find out where the missing son had gone. The investigations revealed that Munir left Sudan through the Khartoum International Airport and headed to Egypt with his classmate Shainas. Moreover, the police came to know that the two friends are spending their summer vacation in one of the most beautiful hotels in Alexandria city. Mr. Abdul Basit became extremely troubled when he learned that his son traveled with a girl who was not his wife and stayed with her in the same room in the International Sheraton Hotel. How could he sleep with a girl that is not his wife, and how could he ignore his family, his fiancée, and his wedding and travel abroad without informing anyone? Although the information came from a reliable source, still Mr. Abdul Basit does not fully believe it. Therefore, he has decided to call the Sheraton Hotel and find out about his son Munir Abdul Basit. He dialed the number of the hotel and talked to the front desk. The receptionist who responded to his call confirmed the information, but she refused to transfer his call to his son's room. She informed the Sudanese caller that Munir Abdul Basit requested the hotel management that no international phone call must be redirected to his room. Chapter 8. The Wedding of a Bride Without a Groom. The exceedingly troubled and outraged wealthy business tycoon Mr. Abdul Basit is the kind of a proud man who will not so easily accept defeat. His shrewd mind has already devised an escape out of that embarrassing situation his irresponsible son has put him in. He does not want the holy family of the Imam of the biggest mosque Sheikh Al-Qadir and the noble family of Mr. Abdul Basit to be humiliated. He also does not want them to become a laughingstock in the city of Wadi Madani. It was already 2:30 a.m. when he flew back to his city, and returned to his mansion in the most opulent neighborhood. His third Muslim wife, Sarah, is sleeping when he entered his bedroom. He changed his clothes, put on his nightdress, and occupied his bed beside his wife without disturbing her sleep. He too quickly fell asleep as if there was nothing bothering him. When he opened his eyes again, it was 6:30 a.m. His wife has already woken up and begun to prepare things because it is the wedding day of her only beloved son Munir. Mr. Abdul Basit went to the bathroom and had a quick hot bath. When he came out, he talked to his beloved wife and informed her about the disturbing news. "The dust and ashes have filled my mouth and covered my head," shouted the extremely disturbed mother. "Where can I turn my face? How can I face Maulana's wife and daughter? I am finished. The holy name of the Al-Qadir family and the noble name of the Abdul Basit family are going to be ridiculed and destroyed forever. I wish I am dead rather than alive to face a black day like this. I was cursed from the day I came out of my mother's womb. Most probably, some evil men and envious women cast spells on me and my family. I am going to die of a major heart attack. I wish I have been buried alive, and my dead corpse has been decomposed and eaten by the worms of the ground." Mr. Abdul Basit waited for his wife to cry out the pain out of her heart, so that he could talk to her without being interrupted by her. But when he realized that she was going on and blaming and cursing herself, he has decided to interrupt her. He stood up and walked to his wailing and bewailing wife, and gently patted her shoulder, and requested her to stop crying and listen to him. "If you stop crying and don't kill yourself by your feelings, then there is an escape out of this humiliating situation that your irresponsible and unrespectable son has put us in it. I am ready to kill myself to prevent the scandal from destroying the honor of the Abdul Basit's family. Everything has to go as scheduled for today." "What have you said?" shouted the frightened mother. "Did you want us to have a wedding with a bride without her groom?" continued the exceedingly outraged mother. "That is the scandal itself which shall make everybody laugh at us. We will be laughingstocks for 100 years to come. Even our grandchildren will be reproached for it. We won't be if we are able to convince Maulana, his wife, his daughter, and the wedding guests of what I have decided to do." "To convince them of what?" "To convince them that our son is spending his summer vacation with his girlfriend at the beaches of the Mediterranean Sea at Alexandria City, and for that reason, he can't attend his wedding today." "Sarah, I am not that stupid man. If you stop using your heart and begin to use your brain and listen to me for a second, then I am sure you will understand and accept my plan." "Okay, I have all my ears listening to you. Tell me what your brilliant plan is." "Great, my beloved wife Sarah. Get up right now and dress up in less than 5 minutes, and let us go to the holy abode of the virtuous Imam of the biggest mosque in this city. I will tell you my plan on our way to the Al-Qadir family's residence. The Imam Sheikh Al-Qadir and his wife Hagar, the last two people they might have been expecting to see at that early hour of the day, Mr. Abdul Basit and his wife, Sarah. The glad tidings and not the bad news has brought you to us so early in the morning," asked Maulana, after he opened the door and saw the two visitors standing in front of his gate as a crow and an owl of bad omen. "Good news has brought us to your holy abode, O our blessed Imam," said Mr. Abdul Basit while he is trying to force a smile on his lips. He quickly added, "Even though we cannot deny that there is a small seemingly unbeatable problem that has happened in our family. And that small apparently insurmountable problem, inshallah," said Mrs. Abdul Basit, forcing smile on her face too, "will not prevent the happiness today from coming to our hearts and the hearts of our beloved bride Isra and her groom Munir. Those who put their trust in Allah will never be put to shame," said Maulana. "I hope there is nothing bad has happened to our dear son, Munir," inquired Maulana's wife, who looked tense and worried. "Spit the fear out of your mouth and rejoice, O holy mother of Isra," said Sarah, who is trying to look calm and happy. Even so, Hagar has already seen the fear in her eyes, and guessed something awfully big has happened in the Abdul Basit family. Therefore she held the hand of Sarah and said worriedly, "What has happened to our son Munir?" "I think we will be in a better position to speak and reveal the problem if we enter the living room and talk about it. I assure you, our blessed Maulana and my gracious sister, that nothing bad has happened to our beloved son, Munir, said Mr. Abdul Basit, who is worried that his wife may spoil his plan before he can reveal it to the Al-Qadir family. Following the advice of the wise father, the four parents entered the living room, and sat 2 by 2 facing one another as if each couple were going to challenge the other in a tennis game. First of all, I want you to know that Munir is alive and there is nothing serious that has happened to him. Having said that, 3 days ago, while Dr. Munir was taking part in open-heart surgery in the Khartoum Soba General Hospital along with other senior doctors, he had a nervous breakdown. According to the hospital staff, while the surgery was in progress, Dr. Munir was experiencing a mixture of 2 opposing emotions. On one side, he was counting the seconds and minutes for the arrival of the happiest day in the life of his wedding with the most beautiful virgin girl in the world, and on the other side, he saw a patient struggling for his life while his soul was hanging between heaven and earth. For that reason, interrupted the blessed Imam, don't tell us that Dr. Munir won't be in a position to attend his happy wedding today, said Maulana, completing the concluding sentence of the father of the runaway groom. That is exactly what I am about to report, said Munir's father, and then lifted his right hand indicating that no one should interrupt him or jump to another unpleasant conclusion, as the hasty Maulana had already jumped to a bad ending. However, shouted Mr. Abdul Basit, trying to prevent anyone from talking before he can reveal his brilliant plan, my wife and I have decided to go ahead with the wedding celebration, but if our blessed Imam and his holy wife, Hagar, have no objection. The decision is yours, quickly responded Maulana, after being overwhelmed by the marvelous idea. After all, you have the boy and we have the girl, and in the eyes of Allah, the female is not equal to the male. And that is why Allah allows the men to have for wives in this lower life, and 72 virgins in paradise. Neither his wife Hagar nor Mrs. Sarah like it when he has mentioned the right of the Muslim men of practicing polygamy on earth and in heaven. It is my heart desire that my beloved son Munir will see his beautiful bride Isra today sitting beside him, said Sarah while she is weeping. Yes, I fear that the heart of my beautiful daughter Isra may stop if she comes to know that her handsome groom Munir is not going to sit by her side in their wedding thrones, said Hagar, who is almost crying her heart out. Cheer up, O blessed women. Let us not discourage our beautiful bride Isra, and fill her heart with fear. I have a letter that had been written by my beloved son Munir in front of me to his beautiful virgin bride Isra. It is here in my hand, said Mr. Abdul Basit, who had already faked a letter that day and claimed to have been written by the runaway groom to his lovely bride Isra. My dear husband, said Sarah while imitating the voice of a noticeably young girl. She is trying to add more truth to the false brilliant plan of her husband. You have forgotten to tell our blessed Imam and his beloved wife. What is your plan after the wedding celebration is over? Mr. Abdul Basit doesn't like the way his wife is rushing things, but he understood she has put him in the driver's seat, and hence he must reveal his so-called brilliant plan. I have not forgotten that, Sarah. But before Mr. Abdul Basit could reveal his genius plan, the holy wife Hagar interfered and said in a teenager's voice to her husband Maulana, my darling husband, let us hear what Mr. Abdul Basit is planning to do after the happy celebration is over. Maulana Sheikh Al-Qadir looked at his wife in wonder and anger because she has never called him darling before or spoken to him in her daughter's voice. Therefore he said, I haven't interrupted Mr. Abdul Basit. Notwithstanding, the father of Munir has understood that Maulana's wife is challenging his wife, that she too calls her husband darling, and has a feminine voice of a teenage girl who is younger and sweeter than her 17-year-old virgin daughter Isra. Accordingly, he ignored her and began to reveal his remarkable plan of escape. After the wedding celebration is over, the beautiful bride is ours. Therefore, Isra Al-Qadir is going to fly tomorrow to Alexandria City to see her groom Dr. Munir Abdul Basit, who is in the biggest and best hospital in Egypt. I have booked her into the most expensive hotel in Alexandria. Here is her air ticket and the confirmation of the hotel's booking. Dr. Munir was not willing to go to Egypt for treatment, but I forced him to do so. After all, I don't trust the life of my dearest son on the hands of any Sudanese doctor. Then Mr. Abdul Basit opened his suitcase and removed all those travel papers and waved them in the face of everyone to confirm the truthfulness of his bogus brilliant plan. He waited for a few minutes to see if anyone was having doubts or not agreeing with his brilliant idea. When no one said anything, he resumed, Our blessed Imam, will you please read for us Surah al-Fatiha from the Holy Quran, and send us in peace to our residence, so we can finish the preparation for the greatest wedding of the year?" Immediately, the virtuous Maulana Sheikh Al-Qadir opened his big mouth, rose to his feet, and ordered everyone to stand up too. That done, he has lifted his hands to the ceiling, and loudly read the opening chapter of their Holy Quran, as if he is standing in the biggest mosque during the congregational prayer.